時間都要提醒啦，我知道呢一個因為咧，我哋馬拉松賽道咧就總不能全日開放嘅，咁所以提醒各位，我哋馬拉松嘅賽道咧就會喺下晝1點鐘咧就要關閉嘅。咁所以如果你真係唔係跑得太快，而去到要俾我哋嘅工作人員咧就係去到不斷去接跑嘅話咧，你就唔好當佢魔鬼啦。咁啊，你就請你哋跟隨工作人員對時嘅安排咧，就去到坐我哋嘅指定嘅接駁巴士。咁啊，就算你話真係俾我哋嘅工作人員去到接跑咧，都唔係一件值得氣餒嘅事嘅。咁啊，起碼都係要注意安全為先。咁啊，所以請各位記得留意啦。
好啦，而家距離起跑時間咧，大約仲有5分50零秒左右啦。見到咧，參加咗半馬拉松挑戰組嘅跑手咧，都陸續咧係移喐到嚟到我哋嗰個起點嘅位置。咁而喺起點前咧，我哋嘅local 嘅本地跑手啊，都已經係準備好啦。包括我見到咧係我哋嘅3項鐵人大佬李志和 Daniel 喎。嗱，之前都係跑10K 嘅。
冇錯，非常之好嘅成績，都希望你啦喺今日呢一個半馬拉松挑戰組嘅比賽可以攞到你嘅理想嘅成績啦。各位跑手，既然嚟到咁近嘅位置，我哋再同大家打個招呼。各位跑手，早晨，歡迎你哋參加我哋第23屆渣打香港馬拉松嘅賽事，歡迎你哋早晨。
過去呢幾年我哋都係咁噶啦，嗱，我哋同你哋打招呼，我哋都想俾咧我哋傳媒嘅朋友啦，甚至乎所有可能喺後邊準備緊喺下一槍咧要起步嘅朋友咧，一齊去打氣，幫自己打氣，又幫下其他人打氣，亦都見到啦。最後倒數5分鐘嘅旗幟咧，亦都已經高舉啦。喺呢個時候，我哋數3、2、1，大家一齊大聲嗌一下，幫自己打打氣，好唔好啊 ？On the count of 3, everybody say cheers, alright? Ready? 3、2、1。咁記住啦，保持住你哋高昂嘅情緒啊！咁啊，一陣間咧喺你哋即將要參加嘅比賽做好啲。咁啊，我哋每一年渣打香港馬拉松，我哋都有一個非常之振奮嘅口號啊！一起我們跑更遠。所以你跑得快時，側邊嘅人又會跑得更加快。所以大家都希望可以做得更好嘅成績。
嗱，而家見到咧，大約仲有4分零鐘咧，就4分鐘左右咧，就開始我哋嘅半馬拉松挑戰組嘅賽事㗎啦。咁你見到咧，我哋前面嘅跑手咧都係開始準備呢個心情啦，投入陣間佢哋21公里嘅賽事啊！嗱，相信而家咧，大家都可以咧望下你嘅左邊，係啦，可能嗰個係你識嘅，同佢打打氣。望下你嘅右邊，你見到佢可能係唔識你嘅，唔緊要，都俾個眼神單一單眼，心中咧一齊咧係互相打打氣。
好，臨到起步之前，最後要檢查嘅一樣嘢啦，就要檢查下究竟你個號碼冇扣穩你啊！因為咧，尤其是你跑步，你需要咧你需要咧時間係幾長嘅。咁啊，可能今朝早起身嘅時候，稍為一啲大意嘅話，臨尾檢查清楚你嘅號碼冇係緊扣翻喺你哋嘅心口前面，或者喺你嘅肚仔前面咧。咁啊，記住費事一陣間咧跑下嘅時候咧會有鬆斷，所以記得要留意。
Evan啊，仲有3分鐘咧，比賽開始，亦都見到啦，為我哋主持起步禮嘅嘉賓咧都已經係準備好咗。
Well, we are getting set and ready because it's less than 3 minutes to the start of our race here. So we are very proud to invite the following guests to officiate the starting ceremony of the Stonecutters Marathon 2019 Half Marathon Challenge. 我哋而家嚟到好高興邀請到以下嘉賓嚟臨為我哋主持渣打香港馬拉松2019半馬拉松挑戰賽嘅開步禮。首先熱烈嘅掌聲要送俾渣打銀行大中華及北亞地區行政總裁洪丕正先生 BBSJB。Well, obviously a big round of applause and welcome Mr. Benjamin Hong, BBSJB Regional Chief Executive Officer, Greater China and North Asia Stonecutters Bridge. And he is accompanied by Mr. Chen Tak-chung, Silas, BBSMH, and Honorary Vice President of the Hong Kong Amateur Athletic Association. 咁啊，陪同嘅嘉賓咧，亦都有香港業餘田徑總會名譽副會長蔣德祥先生 ，and also accompanied by Untitled Chapter, Andrew Lau, Carol Ho, Darren Lim Kim, David Wan, Eliza Wong, Asmund Mock, Faye Debussy, Florence Wong, Frank Lee, Helen Hui, John Tang, Peter Hatt, Rita Liu, Samir Sabawao, Vicky Kong, Vivian Chen, Yi Man Hao. And also from the HAAA, Mr. Chen Kwong Kyung, Mr. David Moore, Mr. Simon Young, and Mr. Alexander.
好唔該晒，琴日我哋介紹我哋咧喺明窗台嘅嘉賓啊，距離起跑時間仲有1分鐘。
1 minute countdown before the start of our first race. Everybody, no rush. This is just a test fire. All right, we still got less than 1 minute to go. All right, everybody, are you ready? I can't hear you. Are you ready? 準備好，我哋已經眨眼嚟到最後30秒。
歡迎大家一陣間咧可以跑到嚟我哋呢一邊嘅司儀台啦，亦都會跑緊我哋嘅啦啦隊，我哋有渣打銀行嘅 cheerleaders 喺度啦，有我哋嘅傳媒朋友，當然亦都啦就係有我哋嘅主禮嘉賓喺度，都歡迎大家同我哋打個招呼，揮揮手喎。
好啦，我哋一齊進入倒數啦，預備 ready for countdown 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 21公里嘅路程啦，咁而稍後咧我哋都會係陸續介紹啦，就係我哋一個海外嘅特邀跑手啊嚟到準備咧馬拉松嘅挑戰組啊。
Well, later on we're going to introduce you some of our more favorable international runners because the next race that we are starting here is the Marathon Challenge of the Standard Chartered Hong Kong Marathon 2019. We have a lot of very high standard marathon runners here participating in our race this year, and many of them from overseas that we're going to introduce you later on. And just to remind you, the next race, Marathon Challenge, will begin at 6:10, at 10 minutes past 6. So just to remind all of our overseas runners, there's about less than half an hour to go. So please get ready.
間呢條線都好多啊。係咧，穿咗少少呢個欄杆，我使唔使再就多少少？依家咁樣咧。佢都知，佢頭先打嚟就係問可唔可以識個隔離記者。係啊。
Okay, no problem.
Well, once again, good morning everybody！ 咁啊，再一次同大家講聲早晨啊！歡迎大家嚟到尖沙咀，我哋彌敦道嘅現場，亦都係渣打香港馬拉松2019半馬以及我哋嚟緊全馬嘅起點位置啊！歡迎大家咁啊！首先咧要同大家打氣啊！咁我哋喺台上面除咗有我 Echo 周雨勤啦，仲有我哋 Mabel 同阿海喺度。咁啊，每一次喺開步前單一定要。 sure that you can help us by depositing your garbage into our recycle bin and the appropriate garbage bin. You can recycle your water bottle, and as well to better take care of the banana skin or some of the energy drink that you might be taking during the race. Be sure to deposit your garbage in the appropriate bin.
好啦，頭先咧講開衝線咧，都要俾大家啲衝線嘅動力咧，就係、我哋馬拉松咧有一個獎金嘅，特別咧就係、男女子嘅總冠軍咧係會獲得65,000蚊嘅美金，咁而咧我哋香港嘅跑手咧亦都係有一個嘅有一個嘅獎勵嘅基金喎。咁咧另外，如果大家有留意咧，我哋嘅媒體報道啦，就係成日講千金小姐同埋千金先生，就係如果大家男子啊可以完成你嘅馬拉松咧喺3小時內完成，而女子運動員可以喺3小時30分內完成咧，就可以獲得馬拉松特別獎勵計劃，包括係有1000蚊嘅1000蚊咁多㗎。
冇錯，咁我哋歡迎啊！我哋希望咧嚟緊就會有更加多嘅千金先生同埋咧千金小姐嘅。咁如果千金先生同千金小姐啦，我相信好多咧都會係精英跑手啦。我哋而家咧亦都係啦，請我哋嘅精英跑手可以咧就係嚟到呢一個嘅起步區㗎啦。
Very good morning to you and welcome to Hong Kong. Welcome to the Standard Chartered Hong Kong Marathon 2019. An event that we always look forward to each year, an event that's gone from strength to strength. And we are looking now down at Nathan Road at the start of the elite group, who will be contesting this 42.2 kilometre course. And for those of you who still remember the old-fashioned values, 26 miles, 385 yards. And we're going to have a look at the course in a little bit more detail with these elite runners who will be participating in this morning. So as we see, Argyle Street in Kowloon, and they go along the Western Kowloon Highway, cross Stonecutters Bridge, beautiful views from there, and then drop down through the Nam Wan Tunnel out to the furthest point on the course, which is the Ching Long Highway. They come back on themselves then, and through Ching Wai Highway. The course crosses at that point, and they come through then the Western Tunnel, through Connaught Road, and back to the finish at Victoria Park. So runners getting ready. It's 6 o'clock local time here, or just after. They should be getting underway in a few minutes. I think officially 6:10 local time. Still darkness here. Other events already got up and running and underway. We had the 10K run and the half marathon a little bit earlier with participants there. And of course, there's a good group of elite overseas runners that have been invited back. Not least Kenneth Muburu Mungara. He's actually run a recent best of 2:07.36. He's the defending champion. He won the event last year. An official time of 2:13.38 from Kenya. And of course the times here in Hong Kong quite significant because there is additional prize money for both the men and the women. You get under 2 minutes, 2 hours 12 minutes. There's an extra 5,000 US up for grabs, and you get under 2 hours 10 minutes for the men, an extra 10,000. For the women, under 2:28, there's that extra 10,000. Of course, the female race is just as important as the men's, and Volha Mazuronak, wearing bib number 61, recent best time for her, 2:26.22. The woman to look out for this year is Eunice Chebichi Chumba from Bahrain, 2 hours 24.27 this year, and she's going to be certainly one to watch out for. So great atmosphere here, and this is an event that has gone from strength to strength. Officially it's over 50 years old, 28 participants in that very first race, but it really came to the fore in 1997 when Standard Charter took over the sponsorship of the event, and since then it's become internationally renowned. And since 2016 it's recognised by the IAAF Gold Label Road Race, and it proves that the race has achieved the highest standards set out by the IAAF, that's the International Amateur Athletics Federation, and also means that it can attract many elite runners, and there's been positive feedback about this race. There were concerns about high temperatures and humidity, but at the moment seems to be settling in at around 20 degrees. Of course, that will rise very slightly when the sun comes above the horizon. So we can see the runners push together. Some 74,000 participants overall in this event this year. And again, we've watched the numbers grow exponentially over the last few years. And massive logistics operation. You see there the 5 minutes to go banner goes up. As I say, they're in the Nathan Road part of Chim Sa Choi. It's an area renowned for shopping and high-end restaurants and hotels. It is normally the hustle and bustle of millions of tourists over the day. Of course, this morning it's all shut down specifically for the runners. But it'll be amazing how very quickly, once the runners have gone, that everything will just get back to normal. So quite unique, this race, in many ways. There's quite a few elevation changes on the course, which is why the time draw is fairly high. It's not the type of course that you would expect to set a world record on. Of course, the other uniqueness about it is that we do cross from where we are now, Kowloon side, over to Hong Kong side by use of obviously bridges and through the tunnel. So, as we say, Kenneth Muburu Mugara, defending champion, he'd be wearing bib number 1. And, unlike most Kenyans, Kenny started running a little bit later in life. He's 45 years of age now, which is actually a pretty good age for a distance runner. A lot of these runners have come from athletics backgrounds. And he originally trained as a barber, cut the hairs of many famous athletes. He started off the year by winning his first Hong Kong marathon, and then went on to win the Gold Coast Marathon as well. He's won marathons in Prague, Singapore, Toronto, many other places around. Wearing big number 2, the Ethiopian of Cisse McConnell. So he'll again be a guy that you'll be looking out for at the beginning. It's been quite difficult to spot a lot of these runners initially, but as the field just spreads out slightly, it'll be much easier for us to go through the various names. So, here are all the names of all the various dignitaries being read out. They're all looking forward to this start. And the finish, well, as we described on the chart, some 42.2 kilometres away in Victoria Park, right in the heart of Causeway Bay, right in the heart of Hong Kong. Again, an area that has millions of people walking through at weekends. And a beautiful area. The Victoria Park Tennis Centre, Swimming Centre, really is the hub of Hong Kong sports. So, prize money, $65,000 US for the winner of the men's competition, $65,000 for the women, $30,000 for the runner-up, $15,000 for third place. So a lot to look forward to. We talked about a little bit earlier about the bonuses that you can also get money for. And for these elite athletes, it's pretty good for them. So just very quickly, the defending champion, Kenneth Mungara, 2:13.38 last year. So it'll be interesting to see in these conditions whether he can do a better time this year as well. Another man to look out for is Mike Kiprotich-Mutai, winner in 2016 in this Hong Kong Marathon. And he'll be wearing the bib number 4. And again, is one of the elite athletes that was invited for this event.
30 seconds left on the start of the race.
So expect a big convoy in front of the runners, the unsung heroes. And you've got a TV car in front of the runners. In front of that, you've got the clock car. In front of that, you have the lead car. In front of that, you have the police escort. Some 180 meters long. And they'll make sure that the runners are safe. And they'll make sure that the runners get around the course in the best way possible. So, the horn has gone off. In Nathan Road. Just can see the remnants of a little bit of light coming through. Great to see. All the people coming through. Some people just do it for fun. But I've got to say that anybody that even attempts is a real hero. They deserve great plaudits. A lot of these people have been training for months for this chance to be in this event. It'll take a while to get all of these runners through. Approximately 20,000 of them in this full marathon. As I say, already there's been lots of people out on the course this morning. And already we've got a group of the elite athletes. just taking out. And as we'll see during the course, they'll start to break away. So, out in front there, you can see that we have Kiptum, the number 5 badge from Kenya. In the darkness that is Hong Kong at the moment. Kiptum is second, as you say, from Kenya. Recent best time for him, 2:09.19. Expect these guys to put on a good pace. We can see that they're breaking away really from the main pack already. Kumutai, he's already in the lead there, just setting the pace nicely. It's not a blistering pace, we must say, but Kiprachik also in there. Other Kenyan, 2:09.18, his best time this year as well, set in the Buenos Aires Marathon. And a lot of these runners, gold status IAAF athletes. It's Kiptum and Kumutai out in the lead early on here. Standard Chartered Hong Kong Marathon. So Tedesi in that line. Say Kiprachik from Kenya, 2:09.18 for him this year. There's a kind of an eerie silence right now. There's not really massive crowds. We'll start to see that towards the back end of this event when the athletes get on to Hong Kong Island. And as I say, there's Kumutai. This event, as we say, has gone from strength to strength. Course has been changed on several occasions. At one point, they even ran into China, just kept the event in the new territories. But as we said before, once Standard Chartered took over, very different situation. So Philip Kumutai Sanga of Kenya, 2:10.07. He's out there. She's setting the pace right now. Nice and smooth, coming up to the 5-minute mark. As I say, we expect these athletes to finish anywhere between 2 hours 12, 2 hours 13 minutes. Kumutai and Kipton just setting the pace. Well, it must be quite an eerie feeling running at such an early time in the morning. A lot of these guys will train pretty early. Kita is also in there. See that tried to take it on, but Kumutai, he just did it. Bit of a specialist in marathon races, Kumutai. Philip Kumutai Sangya. His personal best is 2:06.07. He did that back in 2011 at the Frankfurt Marathon. It's his first time in Hong Kong, so he's going to really look to impress. Certainly, as we say, early on, he's decided just to pick up the pace and take the runners on. Great shots coming from our mobile camera unit mounted on our TV car. As we say, it's quite a procession of vehicles in front of these runners. No mean feat at all, the logistics of this operation. Already you can see there's quite a distance between what you would call these elite athletes and the rest of the field. Just taking on the workload now. We'll see that front position change as they go through. It's very common in marathon running. As we said before, they start off on Callan's side at Nathan Road. And, saying pretty good pace. Kimatai back in front again. Kipton just on the shoulder. Let's have a look who else we can see in there in these early stages. They're two of the well-known names so far. So very early stages, just 10 minutes gone. As we can see from our camera angle, gives you a good idea of some of the elevation changes that they'll get here. And they'll just make the turn there. And they're heading along to Argyle Street. So go up towards the West Kowloon Highway and expect that when we get to some of these longer sections that the field will just be broken up that little bit more. So Kumite taking this field out, just stringing it out a little bit. Kiptum there in second place. Just trying to make out who's in third right now. Hopefully we'll have our GPS up and running for us very shortly. So we can start looking specifically at the runners. So, very quiet part of the course here. Kumite certainly decided, along with Kiptum, all these runners in pretty much the same colour. Very difficult to see sometimes. But, have a numbered runner, not quite sure who that one is. Kiprotech up there as well. Once again, keeping the pace, but being caught up by the other runners. You can see some distance between this top of invited athletes. There's actually about 21 specific athletes. Watch out for Felix Kiptu Kerr as well. He's run a 2:06 this year, and he'll be slotting in there very, very nicely, not wanting to do too much. Kiprotech, see there, bib number 4, in 3rd place right now. 2:09.18 this year at the Buenos Aires Marathon. And as we talked about earlier, he was the 2016 Standard Chartered Marathon winner. So they make the turn there. The West Callan Highway right now. That leads towards the Stonecutters Bridge, very famous bridge in Hong Kong, that they'll be going across. Kimute, Kiprotech. Mike Kiprotech in there at the moment. Kimura there on the left-hand side. He's one that, again, that we'll want to watch. And, defending champion, well, he's there in the pack. Not done a lot at the moment, but as we know with these competitions, it's all about pacing yourself. See there, also Sangha, he's up there in the mix. Philip Kumite Sangha, it's basically wearing the number 10 bib, but very difficult to see. They've named the athletes. Sangha, there you see there with the black shorts and the white top. 2:10.07 for him this year. That was in the Hanover Marathon. And, once again, a specialist. It's a personal best of 2:06.07. For him, a first participation here in Hong Kong. Where Kuner Seum Aboué, number 7, you can just catch a glimpse of him in the pack. The Ethiopian, 2:09.25, set in Rome. You see the very important water stop athletes there. Very nice to see Kumite and Kiptum just sharing that that water between them. It's quite an art as well, being able to come in, grab the water, not really lose your stride, be able to just to keep that pace going. Kumite now still keeping that pace nicely as they go along. So, see the winner. It's very interesting when you see a field of 20,000 people participating in a marathon, but the winner's going to come from this top 25. Good pace, but you can see some of these athletes just putting on a little bit bit of a sweat so far. Kamute knows a bit of a pacemaker anyway within these elite races, so it's no surprise really to see that he's out there in front. Kiptum, well, again, you're always going to follow that man right on his shoulder, make sure that he takes the pace. For a lot of these athletes, it's going to be interesting. First time in Hong Kong. As we look down, you can see there massive elevation change. Something that the television will foreshorten down. This is that area where two parts cross. So you'll see the 10K runners, could be the half marathon runners. So Philip Kumite Sangya just taking the pace up a notch or two now. Just broken. It's that early group. But also Kipratek, as I say, former Hong Kong champion, just keeping his eye. And it's those three really that have broken away. To see there. Getting onto Stonecutters Bridge, just seeing that 10 kilometres. Very shortly. Saw them sharing the drinks, these two front runners. Looks like they're working in unison. But is it Kamute or Kiptum who's running the smarter race? Kiptum, you must say, in second place right now, looking very, very strong. Looking as if everything is well within his capabilities. Second drink station for them. Make sure that they can basically hydrate. Very, very important. Big shout out also to the volunteers. These people have been out here since the early hours of the morning in Hong Kong, getting everything set up. Say going up to about 6:30 local time. Still Hong Kong in darkness. It's Kiptum and Kipratek just taking this field away slightly. This bar chart, again, one of the, initially one of the favourites for this event. Very, very good gait. Very, very good run. Two very different builds, these two athletes. Kumite, a lot leaner. You can see the other runners in the distance there, going back the other way. So a big crossover point this. On the course, see sweeping views across Hong Kong Island there in the distance. A bit misty. And once again, from that camera angle, you really get the feel and the sense of that elevation change. So nicely into the run now, at about 23 minutes on the clock. Don't count out any of these athletes from that main group as well. And interesting, Kamute, just a glance back over his shoulder, just to see what that second group are doing. And now he's bringing the other athletes, Kiptum and Kiprotech, just into there. Wants to know if any of them want to take on this run. Very much what you would call a road race marathon in Hong Kong. The way it's set up. The way it's looking right now, it could be a winner from any one of these three. There's a lot of experience in the pack behind. Runners like Julius Keita, bib number 9, 209.55 this year. And Kimura Kenboy Joel. IAAF gold athletes. Barnabas Kiptum, bib number 5. He's in that main pack as well. Third last year at the Standard Chartered Hong Kong Marathon. Also got Backer in that main field. 209.16 in Junang in Seoul, and he's an Asia top 100 athlete. A lot of these athletes, of course, move up from the shorter distances up to the 3,000 meters. Some of them participate in the steeplechase, and eventually move their way up to a marathon when they're a little bit older. We saw Julius Keita in there, bib number 9. Recent best of 209.55. It was actually back in 17 at the Santiago Marathon. He's 30, so still relatively young for a marathon runner. Lives in Mexico. And he was second in the Standard Chartered Hong Kong Marathon in 2017. So we can also see now Zelalem Backer Regassa, bib number 20, Backer there on the right-hand side. 209.16. He's one to watch out for. So Kimute still taking this pace out quite nicely. Run their way through. Coming up towards the Stonecutters Bridge, coming up towards that 10k mark. And once again, look at that elevation change. A couple of runners have been dropped now from that pack, and it's inevitable with this uphill section of the course that it's going to break some of those runners. And I think that's what Kamute wants to do. He wants to take his power with him. And very early in this Standard Chartered Hong Kong Marathon, looking to break that main pack. So, keep protect. Backer, you see there. They are the lead two so far. It's Felix Kamute just taking it on now. And Barnabas Kipton. You say, he is the pacemaker. So let's now have a look at the girls' marathon, the women's marathon. And that's the leading group. None of the elite runners in there so far. And you see that they're making their way along very nicely. Very strong outfield this women's part of the marathon. The winner last year for the women. In fact, we had some good local runners last year. Wong Ziyan, 2:55. Yu Kit Ching, 2:45. Always good to see our local runners participating in the marathons. Winner last year for the women was Gulema Tolesa Chala of Ethiopia. 2:29.36 was the time. So they look to be putting on a pretty good pace right now. Once again, you can see looking back. And back to the men's race. Felix Kamute, bib number 14, the pacemaker. The 2:11.41 in the Rosawa Marathon 2018 this year. And you can see the infrastructure down below. Container ports, one of the busiest container ports in the world. So they're going across Stonecutters Bridge now. And this is round about the 10k mark for these runners. Ready. These two at the front. Kiptum and Kamute just taking that pace on very, very nicely. At the moment they've broken that field. As we're getting the throes of the early morning light. Let's have a little look at the chase pack back there. And Mike Kiprotech. You can see that. He's leading that chase. He'll know, having won this event, that it's all about pacing yourself. And of course, we know in distance running, there's two ways to go. You either break the pack, try and get that lead and hold on to it, or you pace yourself in the main group of runners. Try and break. Depends whether you've got a kick finish or you're one of these athletes who just sustains that even pace. But it's these two now looking very, very impressive. Phoenix Kumite taking them on. As we say, across that Stonecutters Bridge section. And, once they get off of the bridge, they'll hit their first tunnel, the NAV1 tunnel. And for those of you who don't know Hong Kong, this is actually the way that a lot of people will get to Hong Kong International Airport. So I think we're going to just have a quick look back at the women's race as well. So they've also arrived at the Stonecutters Bridge at the 10-kilometre mark. And, they're putting on a very good pace today, the women. Quite make out. We'll get hopefully have our GPS up and running very shortly. We can confirm. It's like Chumbra there, Eunice Chibichi Chumba. She's bib number 73 with the water bottle there in the orange top. And Sinky just behind her. Chumba, best time for her, as we said, she was one of the outside favourites for this event, with a personal best recent time of 2:24. There was also a silver medalist at the Asian Games in Jakarta. Finished 11th in the World Cross Country Championships in 2017. And twice a runner-up in the Beijing Marathon. So she's well in contention and in a good position there. Back to the men's. As we see the stanchions of the bridge refurbished over time. Stonecutters Island was an old military part of Hong Kong. Its military heritage. And it's Kimute right now, dragging along Kiptum. Once again, IAAF gold status athlete is Kimute. And as a pacemaker, well, it just depends really. Is he going to just take the pace out and then slowly fall back into the pack? Or sometimes they surprise everybody and go on. So Kiprotech, you see there, Monazari's race participant this year with a 2:06 Just bringing on that chase pack. We see Philip Sanger in there as well, bib number 10, 2:10.07 this year. For him, very much a specialist when it comes to marathon running. Also in there is Bakker, and we talked about him a little bit earlier. Zalim Bakker Regassa, 2:09.16 is his recent best, set in Seoul. Once again, nice to see the athletes just sharing the drinks. As they're heading now towards the Namwon Tunnel. We'll see them go inside there very shortly. Away. So around about 12 to 12.5 kilometres they've travelled so far. Must be quite an eerie feeling running through a tunnel. Of course, no traffic today, so the air quality, we can just see they're coming into the entrance of that tunnel. Everything's going to start to get much tighter for them. And this is in anticipation of running up towards the 15-kilometre mark once they get outside the tunnel. And the furthest part of the course should be the Qinglong Highway. It's the furthest part of the course and around about 18 kilometres. And that's when they'll turn, head back. You can see right in the tunnel now. As we said, looking good. Back is in there, Kiprotech, Sanger. Gara in there as well. Defending champion. Looking good in this pack. Again, just losing one of the runners off the back of that chasing pack. And that's where it's all going to happen, really. See there, Julius 2:08, 2:08.06 best this year at the Valencia Marathon. Busy 2018 for him. He ran 3 marathons. He had top 10 finishes in Daegu, Korea, 4th place in the Rock and Roll in Madrid. Fastest time of the year, as I say, set in Valencia of 2:10.22. So Kumite, Kiptum, just stretching their legs through the tunnel. We see that after 10K. Kumite, Kiptum, Kiprotech, previous winner, in 4th, and Philip Kumite Sanger wearing the number 10 in 4th place. The other Kumite, Benson Cheriot Kumite, in 5th place for him. Difficult to tell right now. The chasing group might be just catching these two at the front very slightly. You can see they're so in sync, these two. Keeping a nice pace. And just keeping nice form. Arms tucked in. Very neat, very tidy. Not using much energy. Very important. See a couple of the athletes in that tailing group. Arms flailing a little bit. It's all about conserving their energy over these 42.2 kilometres. So, as they come out of the Namwon Tunnel, to say, heading up towards the 15k mark. They'll do a right-hand turn up past the Chingy Bridge. We go onto the Chingy Bridge, which of course heads towards the airport. And, they'll go out to the furthest part of the course. Interesting seeing that training group. Everyone looking around at each other, everyone wondering what they're going to do. Not quite sure whether to let them get ahead. You see this a lot in cycling as well, when you have a group that just breaks away. Go across towards the right-hand side here now. Economy of just making sure that they take the shortest route, and of course also the drink station. Make sure they can just grab. Didn't get one that time. Make sure they get some drinks. As you can see, it's quite an art to make sure that you grab the right drinks at the right time. So almost 3/4 of an hour in this Standard Chartered Hong Kong Marathon 2019. You see there Waldy holding up some drinks for his fellow competitors. Really great to see that camaraderie. Pretty good, these front two, you must say. And it's coming up to 7 o'clock local time. So as they emerged out of the Namwon Tunnel, emerged into daylight for the first time in this event. See the road's still very busy, people getting to the airport, going out their business on this Sunday here in Hong Kong. Medical staff on standby, just in case. As I say, we couldn't do this event without the volunteers. Great to see them. And past that 15k mark now for them. To say that training group, you look pretty strong right now. Some great running and some great cadence from Kiprotech there on the right hand side. Philip Sanger as well. You see 14 and 5 there in the lead right now. I think we're going to go back, have a look at the girls group, see how they're doing. So once again, you see they're just emerging from the Nam 1 tunnel. And that lead group looking very, very strong, broken away from the rest of the pack. There's a Rona there on the right-hand side. And, Eunice Chumba, she's in the group behind. And Vola Mazaronik, Belarus, 2:26.22 this year. Looking strong there in the red top with the blue shorts. And she set that time in the Berlin European Championships this year. She's a former race walker, so she's no stranger to endurance. Made that transition to marathon running. Best time of 2:23.54 at the London Marathon back in 2016. She finished 9th at the London Marathon in 2015. That's when she sort of announced herself as one of the top runners in elite women's running. And became the 2018 European Women's Champion last year. So you've got to say that she's the only named elite athlete in that first part of the pack. And she's looking really, really strong. And I think it looks like a comfortable pace for her right now. Not particularly hot. Certainly the sun's not out, so it's not really blistering. Mazaronik, bib number 61. Looking strong in the women's event. They go through that water station as well, making sure that they can just keep themselves hydrated. You see, it's quite difficult to run and drink at the same time, losing that stride pattern. Mazaronik now deciding just to take it on a little bit. Through the Nam 1 tunnel and up to the 15-kilometre mark. So just using the water there also. Just to keep themselves cool. Very elegant running style, Mazaronik. And certainly the favourite in this women's event. So I think we're now going to see the men's race again and see if there's been any changes at the front. But it's Felix Kamute, the pacemaker, taking it on, and it's Barnabas Kiptum in second place of Kenya. Third place at last year's marathon for him, so he knows his course very well. And also a third place in the Milan marathon last year as well. Second in Buenos Aires at the end of 2018 with a PB of 2:09.19. If he can do that today, he'll not only win this event, but he'll also pick up the $10,000 prize money for breaking 2 hours and 10 minutes. Fourth last year, Kiprotech, just bringing on this this main group. 2:09.18 for him. As I say, he won this Standard Chartered Marathon in 2016. 6th in 2017. You're looking to get back on the podium this year. Certainly a third place is very much up for grabs for him. So coming up to the hour mark and coming up to very close to the 20-kilometre mark where they will turn and head for home, as it were. Again, you can see that Kiprotech thinks, should he go with them? You've got Sanger and Wold in there as well. Philip Sanger. Looking a little bit tired. Tades and Wold, to say, who are already in there as well. Bodie at the back of that pack, that training pack. Once again, bottle of water this time. Lots of hydration. Probably will share it with his pacemaker. He's doing an outstanding job so far. And you can't underestimate what it is to make sure that you're hydrated during these events. Quite a feat of endurance, 42.2 kilometres to run. To run it in just a little over 2 hours. So it looks like there's a nice bit of breeze for the athletes, which is pretty good for them. See that they're on the bridge already. And across that expanse of water, see that the bridge in the background, that's the Chingy Bridge, which goes off to the airport. And once they've got across the bridge here, they'll be back on that turning point, getting to almost to the furthest point of the course right now. They did a 90-degree turn at the Chingy Bridge. Great views, but of course they're not going to be interested in that. All they're interested in right now is making sure that they can keep that pace going. You can see the bridge on the left. That's the bridge that goes off to the Hong Kong airport. Various resorts. Interesting weather today. Quite overcast, which actually for distance running is a good thing. You'll see that when they get to the end of the bridge, they'll do a turn and they'll start to come back the other way. Again, looking very comfortable. I think they quite like these conditions. Of course, used to running in much, much hotter conditions. So the fact that they can run here in 20, 22 degrees is perfect, ready for them. Look to be just breaking that that main group at the moment. Just a little bit more daylight between them and the main group. again. So, just to run through the top 10. Just after the 15k mark, it was Barnabas Kipton in the lead. Felix Kumute in second. Mike Kiprotech out there in fourth. Felix Kumute down to third. We have Adama Ima Toulouse in fifth. Hitachi in sixth. Benson 7, Dewalt Waldy, we saw him bib number 41 in 8th. So at the 20-kilometre mark now. And these two really pushing off. Just breaking the rest of the field right now. So, Kimute, Kiprotech in third place for him. So you see that main group. So there we go. Hitting the 20k mark. They make that turn back, and now going to head back over the bridge again. And once they hit the other side of the bridge, that'll be the halfway mark, at about 21.1 kilometres. We can see the main group just at the turn, so just over the hour mark, and pretty good pace right now for these two. Depending on what they hit the halfway mark at, we could be looking at a pretty good time. See there, the athletes going up. That's the 19-kilometre mark. Another kilometre to the end and back. So a little bit downhill in this section. It's going to help these front two just get a slight pace on. As you can see, they're going to go back onto the bridge. And then, in a sense, heading for home, coming up to the halfway point. That turning point at Qinglong Highway. They've broken the field. Looks like they have. So it's at about 20 degrees here right now. Overcast, as we said. Once again, great to see this Hong Kong Marathon spread right across the new territories and also Hong Kong Island. Of course, the vast majority of this event is in the new territories. We saw the Chingy Bridge there just in the distance. You can see a little bit windy. It's going to just throw them off slightly. And we see there Felix Kamute having a little bit of trouble with his bib. So really want to worry about that too much. Of course, if you finish without it, you can be disqualified. So he's obviously a little bit worried. So you can see that they're coming back across the bridge. And once they've got across the bridge, they'll go down. They'll get to the halfway point. Then 21.1 kilometres. They'll go back through the opposite tunnel, which is the Chongqing tunnel. Of course, they went through the Nam 1 tunnel on the way out at around about 15 k's. Good to see that strong performances from some other athletes there, going up towards the 18-kilometre mark. Great shots from above the bridge. You can see that interconnectivity between that bridge and the Chingy Bridge. A lot of people don't realise that Hong Kong consists of a lot of islands as well. So obviously there's that connectivity with the bridges. Our camera guys on the back of a bike there, getting some great shots for us. This Standard Chartered Hong Kong Marathon 2019. Nice early part of the morning. As we say, Standard Chartered took over this marathon, the sponsorship of it in 1997. This event has gone from strength to strength. And believe it or not, in the year 2000, the total number of participants in this event was just over 7,000. And today we're talking about 74,000 in all the different categories. Quite remarkable. So Bakker and Sanya still in there. And used to say, you've got Waldy there on the left-hand side. And from any one of those guys, and also Kit Protect, any one of those guys could come a third place or even push up for the winner. So you see there, as we pass that yellow sign, we have now hit the halfway point, and time-wise 1:05.40. So that gives us a time of around about 2:10. If they can keep this pace up, that's pretty impressive. And to say it's easier, but it's slight more. Once they get across here, they'll start to drop down, heading towards the Chongqing tunnel, and it'll be a little bit more downhill, giving it a little bit more freedom. Let's say that the main group there looking pretty relaxed. Not looking too bad at all. Mungara, last year's winner, he's nicely placed in there, in the orange on the left-hand side with the green running shoes. As you say, 45 years of age, took up distance running that little bit later in life for him. And he'll have designs certainly of getting on to the podium. And as we go back and have a look at the women's, Vola Mazaronak still very much the strong runner in that lead group. see that. So Eunice Chumba in second. We've got Tekla Karongo 30174 in third. So once again, just taking on refreshment. Mazzarone, it looks like she's got it pretty much under control right now. Back to the men's now. As we see that section just past the halfway point where the paths of the runners going out towards that 20-kilometre mark come in line with the two lead runners. You can see that group at the back there. Backer deciding maybe you should take the pace on that little bit more. Be interested to see over the next 5Ks or so whether they start to break the field up a little bit. Certainly is what's needed if they're going to make an effort to try and catch this lead group right now. You see Baku is kind of encouraging the rest of them, speaking to Sanger there, and saying, "Hey, we need to get going here." Of course, Kimute working very well with Kiptum. These two have paced themselves beautifully right now. So they're coming down towards the Chungching Tunnel. So they'll go back across the body of water again, but of course underneath rather than over the top this time. You can see the bridge that they crossed before. Bridges in the distance there behind them. So now they're coming around to that tunnel section. So Kiprotech still in that lead group. A few of the athletes having trouble with their bibs. As I say, it's a lot more windy than they thought it might be. So it's going to really suit these runners very, very, very nicely. Sanger looking strong there as well. As we said, Mungara's in there. Philip Sanger. Just deciding to take it on. 2:10.07, recent best for him. Trying to stay on the shoulder of Mike Kiprotech. So, as you see there, number 14 and number 5. It's Kiptum and Felix Kumute. Just 1 hour and 11 minutes elapsed so far in this Sandy Charlotte Hong Kong Marathon 2019. And at the pace they're setting right now, would be on for a course record. You never know. Could we be on for a $10,000 bonus to add it on to the $65,000 first prize overall? Make it a very nice, worthwhile day for either one of these front two runners. But my money's on Barnabas Kiptum, the number 5, second place man. Kimute doing great, and we can now go back to the women's race. So once again, no real change there in that lead group. With Mazaronik, as we can see, they're on the bridge as well, making their way back past that 20-kilometre mark as well for the women. So this is where, if it's going to start to hurt, it will hurt at this point. With still over 20 kilometres to go. As I say, the terrain gets that little bit easier now. It'll go up and then it'll start to drop down. Let's go back now to the men's, who have reached the Chingy tunnel. They branch off a little bit more left for a while, and then they'll do almost a 90-degree turn. So they hit the outer edge, leaving the tunnel. They'll hit the 25-kilometre mark. And looks like this main group have got a little bit of the hurry up. They look like they've just taken the pace on that little bit more now. Don't want to lose sight of those two in the front, who look very relaxed. Look like they're out on a Sunday stroll, even though of course they're not. They're in an international marathon. But so far in this event, they've been very smart. Took this on very, very early. And, Felix Kumite, it was always the plan really for him to go out as the pace man. It can be difficult for pace men, depending on how long they can keep that pace up for. Certainly he's done his job very, very well so far. See their stride pattern completely in sync. They look to be running so much more easy compared to that main group. Main group which consists of last year's winner, Kenneth Mungara, Dixon Tue is also in there, bib number 3 from Kenya. And a 2:08.22 this year. His last race was in Sevilla in Spain. Used to be a middle distance runner. Finished 6th in the World Junior Championships. He moved up to marathon running last year in Sevilla. Personal best 2:08.22, so that's said already. Also finished 3rd in the Shanghai Marathon. So there's a lot of very high-class runners in that main pack, and that's where, of course, the race for the podium will be. But at the moment, there doesn't seem to be much answer for this pace being set out by Kumite at the front. Once they get out of the tunnel, they'll swing around almost 90 degrees and onto the Qinghai Highway. Must be quite eerie running through a tunnel. It's obviously designed for cars. At least you're doing a fine job. Let's have a switch back, I think, to have a look at the winners. The men come out of the tunnel and past that 25-kilometre mark and down to that Qinghai Highway. So we're in, of course, coming up to the Chongqing Tunnel, having already passed that halfway point. Mazarona is looking like she's the strongest runner in that initial field. And Eunice Chumba second place on our list, but we'll have confirmation for that for you. So Kiptum Kumite running side by side, looking great. The opposite side of the way they came out now, and coming up towards that right-hand turn and onto the Qinghuai Highway very shortly. See there the residences. In Hong Kong. And looking smooth, looking relaxed, looking like a team, got to say. See a few lights on, but much brighter than it was at the beginning when we started this Standard Chartered Hong Kong Marathon in Nathan Road, Tsim Sha Tsui. Been all the way out to the far point of the course, past the 20-kilometre mark, past the halfway point. Once again, look at the elevation change, something that you can't really see on a map, but when you can see it there from the shot. Container port there to the right, of the busiest container port in the world. As I say, a lot of this marathon will be contested on these big long highways. Very hard to set up a marathon course in a dense city like Hong Kong. But this course has kind of evolved over the years. It's got to a stage now where it's pretty good. I think the athletes quite like it. But as we said before, we've not really seen great times here. It'd be nice to see. Some better, stronger times. Maybe this is the way to do it, with a pacemaker. So when they get to the end of this bridge, it should be around about the 25-kilometre mark. 1 hour 21 a lap so far. Which maybe trying to get Kiptum to take the pace on slightly now. Gave him the signal. And you can see they've really broken that trading group. So there's Eunice Chumba in that second group. Of course, different categories here, which is why it can be a little bit confusing. You have the elite runners, and you've got Chumba in there. And she's certainly in second place so far. .24.27 for her. Looking very relaxed. And Wartessa also up there in third. Jamila Wartesa, Shura, 2:31.50, the girl from Ethiopia. So this is getting towards personal best territory for her. She had a consistent near last year. She finished 5th in the Rome Marathon. She had podium finishes in the Wuxi and Kostis Peace Marathons as well. So let's now switch back to the men's, where really it's these two way out in front. They've broken the back of the training group. They've really put that pace on. As we say, that downhill section's really helped them. And we can see here Kiptum in the lead, Kumite, and you've got last year's winner Magara in 3rd now, stretching his legs with Sanya and Regassa. So all of a sudden now there is a slight change, and Kiptum just takes that pace on, and the pacemaker Kimute really slowed himself down. So his job is done. He's going to wait for that second group, but he looks pretty spent right now. He certainly set up Kiptum, put him into a great position. See that training group are some way behind right now. Gara, wow, does he think that he can reel Kiptum back in these closing stages of this Standard Chartered Hong Kong Marathon and retain his prize? He's got a pretty strong finish on him, pretty good kick as we would call it. Kiptum, well, looking strong and looking relaxed. So Kimute just waiting for that main group. He'll join them. But to be honest, he doesn't look like he really wants to run that much at this point, having done his pacemaker duties. Now, if he's done it correctly and they can keep that pace up, as they say, that winning time looks like it could be around about 2:10. So it's very lonely out there at the front, but he won't be too worried about that. Barnabas Kiptum is capable of running sub 2:10. Stretching his legs as they're down the Chinquai Highway. Seeing that Kiprotech, former winner. Gara's in there, Sanga's in there. Gara there on the left-hand side. Those very distinctive green running shoes. Kimute, well, interesting. He's now, is he going to help this this main pack hunt down Kiptum? Kiptum, well, he looks, you can just see that main group, and he's put quite a lot of daylight between himself and that main group. So back to the ladies now, and we can see it's out at the front there. We have Eunice Chunga, as I say, in that second group as well. Vola Mazaronik, number 61, in the red running top with the blue shorts. He is leading this event. 2:26.22 for her. That's a recent best. And they're going across. Coming to the 25-kilometre mark, and back to our leader. Decides not to take any sustenance on at this point, just focusing purely on his running. And as we said, looking strong. Really strong, and coming down that Chingy highway, coming down towards the 30-kilometre mark, and it's just a pretty much straight downhill run from this point where they'll be able to pick up a little bit of pace. See Waldy there, again just taking on the second group, just bringing them along. Gara, he's also in there, don't rule him out, knows this field really well, very, very strong runner. Decent 2A, looks like he's been just dropped slightly from that main group, as also was McKinnon. Kipton, looks a very lonely race out there in the front for him. But he's doing a fantastic job. Third last year, as we say, Kipton, so knows this course very well. Kiprotech, well, they're all changing the lead at this point. Kiprotech, a former winner, as we know. Waldy, well, he's looking pretty strong as well. Dropped a couple of their elite athletes from that second group. So it's almost like fox and hounds now. Will they be able to reduce that gap? Will they be able to catch the leader, who looks at the moment as if he's done everything right with the pace man? You set him up very nicely. Would have expected to have done pretty well in this event, seeing as he was on the podium last year. Very deceiving, those camera angles. To certain distances they look closer, and they look further away. Kiprotech just bringing them on, as we say. Last race in Buenos Aires. It's done a 2:09, so again a sub 2:10 runner, and on this course that's no mean feat, got to say. So you can hear faint echoes of crowds cheering him on. he gets a little bit deeper into this race and gets down through the Western Harbour Tunnel, that's when you'll see the full body. In that run up to Causeway Bay, you'll get the full body of crowd members. As we see on the bridge above, all the runners still in that main race at the top. But we're focusing on these elite runners here. You've got to say, so far, he hasn't put a foot wrong. Eunice Shumba in second place in the women's race. Of course, yeah, this is the second group, as we know. And, the first group consists of Mazaronak, Shumba keeping her cadence nicely, nice and tight, looking really good. It's always important to have that group where they can all help each other along. So there's our leader, taking on the applause of all the volunteers. And also taking on some water. See, he's really broken the back of that second group in this downhill section as well. It's going to give him a lot of encouragement. Hear that crowd cheering. Nice to see. So it's just all about this man at the clock now, really. Unless something major happens, looks like he's going to be our winner. And that is our second group. And Mike Kiprotech still out in front there, bringing them along. Got Mungara in there. Well, Mungara on the left. Tucked in nicely. Waldy's in there. And he won't go away. He's looking nice and strong. Could be on for a podium finish for him. Great encouragement for all of these runners participating in this event. To see our leader striding off down towards the Western Harbour Tunnel. And you can see that they've only just reached the 6 kilometre stage, whereas he's reached beyond the 30 kilometre stage. We'll be heading down towards the Western Harbour Tunnel, where the beginning of that tunnel will mark the 35 kilometre stage. Of course, once you hit that, it'll only be 6.1 kilometres to go. So this is our second group. Again, main body of runners just getting to the 6 and 7 kilometre marks. But our main group's now past 30 kilometres, heading on down to the Western Harbour Tunnel. Once again, a very big, deep tunnel. They'll go drop underneath, which takes them below sea level. and they'll emerge up onto Connor Road West on the flyover there. And it'll be a case of heading for home. So, West Kowloon Highway, they're going out. Of course, very, very different. Different parts of the race for the elite athletes as opposed to just the people that participate, but you wouldn't be having a marathon without them. Just the fact that they've entered, they've trained, and put themselves in a situation where they can participate is truly fantastic. So our leader right now, Kiptum, was pulled along by the pacemaker, and now it's all up to him. Felix Kumite, well, he did his job. Could we be seeing a very, very good time this year? Well, you see on that right-hand side, they're only just passing or just getting to that 5-kilometre mark. Quite remarkable, the difference in pace between these elite athletes and just your everyday runner. Quite a clean-up job will need to be done here in Hong Kong as we look back now at that chasing group. Sangha, Mugara, Kita, Kipratek, Waldy. They're all there. Podium places up for grabs. And some cash up for grabs as well. The difference between second and third is 15,000 US. It's third 65, 30,000 and 15,000. 10,000 for fourth, 6,000 for fifth, 3,000 for sixth, 2,000 for seventh. And then it starts to get obviously much, much lower. So prestige, but also money on the line. Mingara, as I say, has been very quiet really, hasn't really taken the lead on in this race very much. Last year's winner. Kiptum, well, still looking relatively easy, still looking pretty relaxed. As I say, these conditions will suit him nicely. Nice and overcast. Without the sun. Really makes it a pleasant workout for him. So 1 hour and 40 minutes. Getting to the point where he'll split away from the runners going the opposite direction. Make more of a right-hand turn down towards 35-kilometre mark. Two roads change. See there, Olympic Station in the background. Coming to this section. See, very much a built-up area now in Hong Kong. Lots of new high-rises and lots of developments coming on. So the Western Tunnel, he's on again that downhill section. Past the massive shopping centre on the left-hand side where the golf driving range used to be. And And once he hits that tunnel, that first section of the tunnel also is downhill, so that's really going to help him pick up his pace. And we see there confirmation so far. Kiprotech in second. Kimute, well, he's hanging on in there. That's a different Kimute, number 10. And Sanya he's got on his shirt, of course. Raymond Bett, not one of the considered elite athletes there, slipping himself into 5th place. But of course, in that second group, the lead's going to change hands several times between now and the finish. You can see that he's put considerable daylight between himself and that chasing pack. You can't actually see them in the background right now. He's coming down to the Western Harbour Tunnel. As I say, we passed Olympic Station. Through what we consider as the toll area. If you're driving a car, if you're running, you don't have to pay. Must be a great feeling for him. Quite a downhill section from the toll booths right into the main body of the tunnel, and it keeps going down until about 3/4 of the way through the tunnel, and then it will go upwards. As he comes out of that tunnel, he will hit a section where he'll have an extreme left-hand turn, and then he'll be on Connor Road West flyover, and that's the turn for home. So beginning of the tunnel marks around about the 35-kilometre mark for him, our leader. And what a run it's been so far. Pretty long tunnel this, if you're going through it in a car, but if you're running, it must seem like it's forever. Quite a unique experience, not really something that's going to be had by many people. I wonder what he's thinking right now. Out in the lead, going to try and push himself as much as possible. Said before, difficult because the pacemaker dropped off. So looks like it's been a slight break from the main group. It's Kimura who's taking them on. We see there, as you can see, quite downhill in that first section. That would have really helped him just kick on slightly. Coming to that point around about the 35-kilometre mark where you can hit the wall, quite literally. Just on that uphill section now. He'll be feeling that in his legs. Surprises me that these distance runners don't have much more muscular legs than they do, but it's just all about lean muscle. Keeping that body weight down. Magara's still in there. To see these athletes in the trail group just enjoying that downhill section into that tunnel, the Western Harbour Tunnel. One of the newer tunnels in Hong Kong compared to a lot of the others. So back towards the women's. And once again, no real change there for Hala Muzaronik. In second place there, Tekla Korongo, 3:01.74. And Jamila Watseda shirt. Eunice Chumba just dropping back there to fifth place right now. Mazaronak doing well. They're in that section running down towards the Western Harbour Tunnel. Now back to the men's as well. Kiptum. So you can see, can't actually see that second group, even though they've entered the tunnel. And it's quite a large spread, this tunnel. See that downhill initial section. He's on the uphill section. This has got to be tough on his legs right now. And this is where he needs to dig deep if he wants to get a great time. So that second group really starting to spread now. With Kimura, there we can see in the lead. Well, Waldy's in there as well. With also 2A. Julius Kiprua 2A, number 19 from Kenya, 2:08.06, his best time this year. And as we say, a very busy 2018. Certainly ran quite a few marathons, 3, which is quite unusual in the space of a fairly short time. So 2A, if anything, is looking strong. See, they've dropped the likes of Sanya. They're not really going to catch his lead athlete, but it's going to be a case of who gets on the podium, who can pick up second and third for the prestige, but also the money. And I said to you before, this is a long, long tunnel, even if you're in a car. So I can only imagine what it's like to actually run this tunnel. But that left-hand bend signifies the fact that he's coming towards the end of the Western Tunnel. And once he gets to the end, he'll do a sharp, almost right-angled turn. And then it will be an uphill section again, which will be the Corner Road flyover, which will bring him back into the heart of Hong Kong and through that central area. So, who out of this second group is going to steal second place? It's still very much up for grabs. You can see that Mungara, last year's winner, has been dropped as well. And there we go, Kiptum is coming out of the tunnel now. And, follow the road round, start to bend towards the left-hand side. Might be a drinks refreshment station here as well for them. As you see, he'll start to come along to that left-hand side. You almost go back on yourself. You see, it's quite a uphill, windy section, left-hand bend. Over 90 degrees. There's a bit of a camber here, so as he comes off the last section, he'll get a bit of a slingshot, and he'll need it because there's an uphill section which will be really testing on the legs. At around about 37, 38 kilometers. That's that trailing group. Done well just to break everybody up, and they thought that might happen, but they haven't done it to break away and to eat up the lead. And it looks like the minor placings are going to now come from this second group. So, just again left that main section of the tunnel. And they'll do the same as the leader. They'll sweep. Now he's on that uphill section, which is the beginning of Connaught Road and the flyover. You can see it's an uphill section. And the swimming pool and footy pitches and various other parts. And Hong Kong Harbour on his left-hand side. Just catch a glimpse of it there on this fairly misty day. He will be rewarded because once he gets to the top, once again, it'll drop down into the main part of Central. So Waldy, Kimura, Tadesi, all chasing along. And this final section of the course is one that will suit runners who have got that little bit of end kick. You can afford to almost stop there really and get some refreshment, but just takes that drink on. As you can see, as we explained, coming down towards the big central station and ISC complexes. It's a downhill section. And pretty much a straight road now, all the way to the finish at Victoria Park in Causeway Bay. Some flyovers and of course all those roads are all shut off at this point. See, it's just a slight downhill section. You've got the outlying ferry terminals there on the left-hand side as you look across Victoria Harbour on this very, very grey day. There's the Macau ferry terminal, the Shuntak Centre on the left-hand side, the red building, where you can get ferries, fast boats and helicopters to the territory of Macau. Really is a great place to come, Hong Kong. And also our leader just running past the point where the new bypass tunnel to North Point has been built in Hong Kong. They obviously won't be going on that section. But if you know Hong Kong, you know that it's full of traffic, so that tunnel has really made a massive, massive difference. So coming up to the thick end of this now, 1 hour and 55 minutes. If he keeps his pace up, I think this is going to be a really, really good time. Gara won it last year with 2:13.38, so no bonus for him. And Gulemi Tolesa Chala of the women's from Ethiopia won it in 2:29. I think that will be broken as well. I think we're on for some pretty fast times this year. It's Kipton there. Lonely spot. But again, he's come through. He's on that uphill section again. That challenging group of 5 athletes, any one of who could win this now in terms of like second place. Kimura certainly looking looking probably the strongest runner out of all of them so far. In that second group, there's Kiptum. See, zoom back, and a few trees on this section as he's sweeping down and around for home towards Causeway Bay, towards Victoria Park and towards victory. There we go, that's the Shuntak Centre. Past that now. This is the, I believe, the third group. There's actually two trading groups now. You can see that that's the IFC on the left-hand side under that bridge. He's actually running over the top of where that new tunnel is now. See, great area there where this is actually where they have the Formula E track set up in Hong Kong. That's the carnival there at the bottom of your screen. Hong Kong Post Office, the low building on the right, central car park, and the government offices there as well. Over the far side, keeping away from the main area. Once again here, you will drop down through a tunnel. Great shots of the harbour front there. City Hall on the right-hand side. That is the old Tamar Basin. He's just passing now, where the British military had their main headquarters. Hong Kong was a British territory for many years, and indeed where he's running right now was an inlet where the boats used to come in to be repaired. Of course, all reclaimed land now. And, it's that group just passing IFC, International Finance Centre, on the right-hand side, home to some of the biggest banks in the world. Waldy just preparing himself for some energy for that final kick. So again, that newly built underpass with the Hong Kong Harbour on his left-hand side as he's running. And as he comes up, you'll see Hong Kong Harbour on the left. All of this very newly built green areas. And, while he's comfortably in the lead, we'll take another look at that women's race. That's Ronak saying something to the cameraman, not maybe happy that he's too close. Oh, she's trying to find out what the situation is. And of course, they look like they're going through the Western Harbour Tunnel right now. You can hear the echo. And again, for them, pretty good pace. And you can see that they've broken the other runner's resistance. She's looking back, and there's nobody really. So she's looking comfortable right now as well. They passed the 35-kilometre mark, but Kiptum, well, he's on the final run-in to Causeway Bay. And he's on the final run into victory. It's been a very measured race from him. And of course helped largely by the pacemaker. But he took it on after the 30-kilometre mark and has never really looked back. Still lots of construction going on in that part of Hong Kong Island as that training group come from that underpass there. Government offices, it's all the new government building. That was the old Tamar Basin where they used to have military parades and shows. But all very, very different now. So just passing the main bulk of that central right on the waterfront. And heading for Causeway Bay, Victoria Park and victory. Just having to negotiate various hotels, and as I say, still a little bit built up in this area. Back of Harbour Road here in Hong Kong. 2:04 at the moment. It's going to be close, but I think he's got a very, very good chance of breaking 2:10 here and picking up this bonus. So one of this second group. Well, you've got Waldy, who's looking strong, grimacing a little bit there. And Kumara. Generous applause for our leader. It's only 8:15 on this Sunday morning here in Hong Kong. See all the signage again. The harbour now behind him. The wind at his back. Again, this is an uphill section which will sweep around. Probably one of the last extreme uphill sections for him. Getting very close now. As he hits the top, he'll be able to just swing down and around and get a breather with that downhill section. Almost so extreme downhill, he has to slow himself down. He'll come around to the left-hand side, and it's a straight run for home now. Right in the middle of the border, really, between Wan Chai and Causeway Bay. Once again, not something you're used to seeing in the hustle and bustle of Hong Kong when there's millions of people. And a very, very built-up part of town. As I say, it's through Wan Chai to Causeway Bay. Being led along there by the entourage of cameras and police and support cars and vehicles. Plethora of shops makes that turn left and will make another turn right. It's quite a twisty little section here. Just to get him on to the right road, where we can basically hit the area which is right into Causeway Bay. We're being led on by the whistles and the bikes. Just to be careful he doesn't slow down too much, this guy. Doesn't want to break the momentum of our leader. And 208, it's going to be close. I think seems to have slowed down in the last couple of kilometres, so it's going to be very, very close. As you can see, this last part of the course, very, very urban. Very different to those first parts of the course, which are very much out on part of the new territories and those major roads. You're right in the heart of the city now, right in the heart of Causeway Bay. And here he comes. It's onto the blue carpet. This is going to be a fantastic time. It really is. I think he's going to break 2:10. Don't have the clock right now. I have a sneaky feeling it's going to be very close. There he is, 2:09.17, and what a remarkable effort from Kiptum. He breaks 2:10, picks up that bonus of $10,000 US. What a tremendous effort from him to go along with the 65,000 US for the winner. So 75,000 for him. And he hardly looks out of breath in the end. What a great run. Helped in part by the paceman. And Waldy there has broken the back of that second group. And looks like if he can keep this pace up, he'll end up with that second spot. Still a little bit to go for this for these trailing athletes. Not onto the blue carpet section yet. That's where you know you're very close to home. Not far from it though. But what a time for our winner. As we talked about, just snaking through those sections in the heart of the city. Good crowds here, which will turn out to cheer on our racers. And there you go, hits the blue section, so it looks like Waldy. Not one of the favourites, I must say, by any stretch of the imagination. But for him, fantastic run. And to come second here. And again, it would be a pretty good time for him, around about 2:11. So there we go, 2:11.09. Takes it on. Tades in third, and then Kimura in fourth. So that second group, they really broke the back of that main chasing pack and blew away the likes of Mungara, Sisay, Dixon, Tui, and also Tades. So there's Tui there coming in as well. You can see on the right-hand side there some of our fun runners finishing off. I think that's the 10K. What an amazing time for our leader. There's last year's winner, Kenneth Mungara. Won't be this year, but still a very, very respectable time. And Kiprotech, the winner in 2016, just following on behind. A little bit damp and overcast, actually, a little bit of rain in the air. But as I say, these distance runners really won't mind that at all. 45-year-old Mongara. Always difficult to come back anywhere and retain your title. But beat his time of last year, which you can't really say fairer than that. He was 2:13.38 last year, so he's beaten that by some 45 seconds. Just seemed like the whole field in general was a lot faster. And I think that the overcast conditions, lower humidity, really help. Normally it's so humid for this event that it really just blows the steam out of these athletes. And there's the leader of the women's race, Mazaronak, as we can see, coming through the harbour section down by the outlying ferry terminals, where they have the Formula E track here in Hong Kong. The International Finance Centre will be on her right-hand side. And this indeed is where they have the main track for Formula E. Ferry terminal there on the left-hand side. And that's where we have our Hong Kong Ferris wheel, IFC. That big tall building on the right-hand side, and also that very space-age looking scallop-type building on the front. That's the entrance to the new bypass, the central bypass. The white building there on the left is the central post office. Been there for years and years and years, and you can see the height of that compared to a lot of the other buildings. Hutchison House also with the round windows. You have the carnival there, which has been very popular in Hong Kong over Chinese New Year. And, great place to come in the waterfront with the family. Enjoy yourself. There's a circus in there. But our leader won't be too worried about that at this stage. She really has become a very elite, accomplished athlete over the last few years. And as we said, she looks strong. See there, that City Hall on the right-hand side there, where people get married, and lots of other things go on with the various car parks. It's Connaught Road on the far side. Along, they'll drop down. As I say, this is where the Formula E track is. Hong Kong really is a sporting hub at times. And, it's great to see this Standard Chartered Hong Kong Marathon really showcasing a great city. Jogger there on the left-hand side shows you what sort of pace she's doing, because he's doing a fair lick as well. She'll drop now down. Slight sort of underpass, which will bring her up past the government buildings and the old Tamar Basin on the right-hand side, which brings her out onto Harbour Road, which is the backside of the harbour front here in Hong Kong, with the Victoria Harbour on her left. Quite hard on the legs at this point. A couple of uphill sections to go. This, and then she'll make a left up over a road section, which has a very steep uphill and then a downhill section. So she's not far from being in the heart of the city, making that transition from Wan Chai to Causeway Bay. Lots of construction and building still going on in Hong Kong. City it never sleeps. time you go away, you come back. There's a new building here. This is really a lovely section of the course. A little bit different, as you say. Starts to get a little bit more built up from those early sections on the course, which were very open. There we go. There's the Hong Kong Exhibition Centre on the left-hand side. Taking one of the men's participants. So shows you how quick some of these women really are. Waterfront a little bit obscured by construction at the moment. Maybe obscuring a little bit of breeze for her, but she won't mind that too much. You can see the big wheel on the harbour front in the background. Also IFC, very, very tall building. Past the police headquarters up there on her left-hand side. Still looking on a good pace, still got really good cadence, nice and tight. That's the government offices. She sweeps around. Underneath, and you have the Hyatt Hotel there. The exhibition centre. This isn't a tunnel section, this is just the exhibition centre built up above this road here. Past various hotels in this back section. Not quite as far as the Hong Kong Yacht Club, which is a little bit further up. Again, lots of construction still going on here. Hong Kong, of course, a big exhibition town. And this exhibition centre really second to none. Swings round. Big hotel on the right-hand side of her, and as you see, just the Wan Chai ferry terminal there. Once again, Hong Kong is very much a water town as well. People crossing the harbour from left to right. Exhibition centre there behind her, as you can see. Magnificent looking. And she'll come down. Once again, another ferry terminal there on her left-hand side, and then she'll make a right, which will take her up over a very, very steep piece of road for the first part, and then downhill. Hong Kong swimming pool will be on her right-hand side. International 50-metre pool there. Roads have changed so much over the years. They've become a lot more windy, a lot more straightforward. ICC in the background there, you can see disappearing just into the clouds. One of the tallest buildings in Asia. And all this waterfront reclamation should be finished over the next few years. So as she comes up past this section, she'll make a right. See, that's Wan Chai Sports Ground there on her right-hand side, and that's the signal that she's going to make that right-hand turn. So this is the last real test of the legs. And she hits the base and starts to go uphill. She starts climbing that road now. A little bit of grimace on her face. Not surprising, really. And she's just dropped her pace very, very slightly. But should be very close to her recent personal best. See the harbour in the background, so the road will level off, start to go downhill now Should be a little bit of relief on the legs. She'll then make a left at the bottom of this road. And that's the link really between Wan Chai and Causeway Bay. She's more Causeway Bay now. So makes that turn and is now really into the most built-up section of the course. In that Causeway Bay area. And of course the best crowds that we would have here because of the location. So she must know she's got it wrapped up now. So that'll give her a lot of encouragement. A couple of more just little windy sections for her to finish off. Once again, just the bikers in front and just making sure that the road is clear for these athletes. Volha Mazaronak from Belarus. And she'll just make that turn. This is an area of Causeway Bay which on Sunday will generally have millions and millions of people. So streets are relatively quiet right now. But I'm sure that once this event is over, people will be able to get back to their shopping. So getting close now, 2:24.34. Will she break that 2:26.22 that she set this year in Berlin? It's going to be close. But I'm sure that's the furthest thing from her mind right now. She's trying to win the women's race here at the Standard Chartered Hong Kong Marathon. Looking fresh, I must say, right now. She'll make that turn. Blue carpet will appear, and she knows that she's not far from home. It's going to be close on the time, but I think she'll just do it, actually. So, beating her PB for the year by about 10 seconds. What a great run from her. Absolutely fantastic. And nice to be greeted by other runners. She'll be delighted with that. There's Eunice. And hard to know right now what the order is. Chumba, who was favourite for this race, into that last section anyway. There he is, the pacemaker from the men's race, and now bringing on Eunice Chumba, the backside there of Wan Chai. difficulty with our pictures, but I'm sure you're getting the gist. Of course, very built up this area, so quite difficult sometimes to get those perfect shots. Lots of press around, as you can see. Taking great opportunity to snap these runners right towards the end. So back to the wide shot, a little bit better. Chumba, her best this year, 2:24.27. She's not going to beat that. Set in Athletics South Africa. Just see where Kimute comes, but as I say, he was the elite pacemaker, did really well. She's looking quite fresh, but as I say, it's not one of her strongest runs in terms of time. But sometimes that's not what it's all about. I think conditions this year have been absolutely superb for this marathon. Not far now before they hit the blue carpet. Just a little turn. She'll know that she's not far from home. The carpet, of course, Standard Chartered blue. Standard Chartered have been our main sponsor since 1997. They've been a great supporter of Hong Kong running and the Hong Kong Marathon. So, just be over. 2 hours and 30 minutes, but as I say, I don't think she'll worry too much about that. Sometimes it's not about the times, it's just about participating and doing well. I must say she looks fairly fresh after running 42.2 kilometres. And there was the girl that was with Eunice Chumba for most of the race, got broken there on that run down to the Western Harbour Tunnel and never really recovered from that. She's on the final stages of the race as well. Shot. Once again, very, very close to the finish. So Watesha, number 64, comes in third spot. Thoroughly deserved for her. You can see she's grimacing there, but she's going to make it to the line. And gets herself a podium, determined not to give up that third place. And a pretty respectable time, just over the 2 hours and 32 minutes. Great race from her. She had designs on second place for a while there. but in the end, she didn't win. So, another successful Standard Chartered Hong Kong Marathon for us. And I think you agree there's been some great running. And of course, the men's race, absolutely superb. What a time. And this event just goes on from strength to strength. So, until next time, we wish you a very good day here from the Standard Chartered Hong Kong Marathon.